USC women's basketball cruises past Penn State. JuJu Watkins scores 35. USC women's basketball came home to Los Angeles a few days ago after a long road trip to the East Coast. USC players returned to a grieving LA community, grappling with the enormity of devastation created by the wildfires which have caused so much loss in the city. A number of Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers games have been adjusted on the NBA schedule. The same goes for the Kings in the NHL. USC and Penn State went ahead with their games Sunday evening in the Gallon Center. JuJu Watkins wanted to entertain USC fans. She certainly did that and more. Watkins poured in 35 points on 13 of 15 shooting. The magnificent superstar quality display lifted USC to a 95-73 win over Penn State. The victory pushed USC to 6-0 in Big Ten play, half a game ahead of 5-0 UCLA and Ohio State. The Trojans are 16-1 on the season and look like a team which will contend for a No.1 seed in the women's NCAA tournament. USC's floor for a March Madness seed appears to be No.2. It's hard to see this team being anything less than a No.2 seed on Selection Sunday. What will help USC contend for a No.1 seed in the Big Ten championship is Kiki Iriafen playing well. JuJu Watkins led the charge for USC against Penn State, but Iriafen joined the fun, scoring 28 points in one of her better performances this year. JuJu and Kiki combined for 63 points. Anything close to that on a regular basis will make USC a very, very tough out in March. USC's scheduled game on Wednesday against Northwestern has been postponed. The Trojans get a week off. Players will get a chance to do community outreach in Los Angeles at a time when sports is secondary to everything else happening in this city. USC, JuJu Watkins trying to bring fun to amid devastating wildfires. JuJu Watkins and the No.4 USC women's basketball team secured a high-scoring win on Sunday, providing a much-needed reprieve for Los Angeles residents grappling with the impact of devastating wildfires. In front of a crowd of 5,881 at the Gallon Center, the Trojans defeated Penn State 95-73 in one of the first major sporting events in LA since the fires began. Watkins, who scored 35 points in the game, said the Trojans aimed to uplift the community during a difficult time. "I took it as a good opportunity to have some fun," Watkins said, as reported by Beth Harris of the Associated Press. "Vibes are kind of down here in LA, so our goal was to put on a show and entertain people for a couple hours." Among the crowd were several children, actor Vivica A. Fox and Sherry Nelson, a former USC player who once held the program's scoring record. Nelson brought her 98-year-old mother, who lost her Altadena home to the fires. "This week has been hard for La and for me too, just hearing about the stories," Watkins said. "People I know were affected by it as well. It's just really been heavy on our hearts." The game also featured a strong performance from Kiki Iriafen, who is a Los Angeles native like Watkins. Iriafen scored 28 points for USC. "Just truly trying to spread positivity, do all that we can with donations, and I'm very prayerful, so I'm into that as well," Iriafen said. USC women's basketball among several sporting teams to be disrupted by fires. The wildfires disrupted local sports schedules, with USC women's basketball and UCLA both experiencing game postponements. Northwestern declined to travel for its games against the California schools due to concerns about air quality. Penn State, however, opted to proceed after consulting with conference and school officials, as well as medical experts. The wildfires have also affected the sports world more broadly. Monday's NFL wildcard game between the Minnesota Vikings and Los Angeles Rams was moved from SoFi Stadium to Glendale, Arizona, home of the Arizona Cardinals, due to the fires. The Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers have also been green-lighted to play at home again, after their Saturday games were postponed against the San Antonio Spurs and Charlotte Hornets, respectively. The Lakers play the Spurs Monday, and the Clippers will face the Heat the same day. USC women's basketball head coach Lindsay Gottlieb emphasized the balance between acknowledging the larger crisis and focusing on basketball. "I couldn't believe how many texts I got after the Maryland game where people were saying, 'This was the best 2 hours I've had in a while just watching,'" Gottlieb said. Looking ahead, Watkins expressed hope for the community. "I guess I would say this will pass," she said. "The biggest thing for us and for the community is just to have faith and hope that things will get better." Erin Aschenbach is the lead women's sports editor at Clutch Points, championing women's sports coverage and media representation. The St. Louis native graduated from the University of Missouri School of Journalism and has covered community news the last 5 years.